You ever have one of those moments where you know the fight isn't really about a care or even your pride, but about something way bigger than that? Yeah, that was me, standing in my garage at midnight, watching the security lights dance across the hood of my yellow Lamborghini, thinking, here we go, it's on. And I get it, a Lumbo isn't the most humble ride, but stick with Meta's story's not about the car. It's about drawing a line in the sand. Saying enough is enough when a certain mother and son duo decided they ran this neighborhood, and everybody else was just a guest. They figured a few threats and a power trip could scare me off. But they had no idea who they were dealing with. I'm Michael Harrison, 52 years old, did my time 25 years in the Army, finished with more scars than I care to count. Thought I'd finally earned some peace and quiet here in Maple Grove. Bought this place in 2019, dug up the garden, started a little photography thing, try to be the quiet neighbor who waves and minds his own business. For a while it worked. I made friends, even picked up woodworking, but then Karen Peterson showed up at my door. Now, let me paint you a picture. Karen was the self-declared queen of the HOA Homeowners Association. For those of you lucky enough never to cross their path. Mid-40s, single mom, accountant for some real estate outfit. She turned community standards into her personal fiefdom dictating fence heights, flower colors. When you could have a backyard barbecue, you name it. You give someone a little power, and suddenly they're running the world. You know what I mean? But what she didn't see coming was that I wasn't just some retiree with time on my hands. I was trained for this kind of standoff, and that first real shot across the bow came one sleepy Monday. I'm sipping coffee, minding my own, and boom, violation notice in my inbox. Your Lamborghini has been parked outside for more than 72 hours. This degrades community standards. The Deniso smug, I almost laughed. I shot back, polite but firm. It's my private driveway, my property. An hour later, I get another email fine increased to $500 for my argumentative tone. That's when I knew this wasn't some misunderstanding. This was war. So I started documenting everything. Screenshots, voice recordings, security cam, footage, old Army habit. You prep for battle. By week 2, Karen's organizing an emergency HOA meeting. Mass email blasts, accusations flying, claims that my car is driving down property values, setting a bad example for the kids. Maybe 4 people show up, but Karen's in rare form waving around a blown-up photo of my car like it's public enemy number 1. And then get this, she rams through a rule. No car worth more than $100,000 can be parked outside. Just like that. I just sat in the back, saying nothing, keeping my phone recording. But week 3 is when things really escalated. Cops show up at my door. Karen's standing at the curb with her arms crossed, that little smirk on her face. Cops were decent, one of them, turns out, is a car guy. I show them my paperwork, registration, insurance. Steve looks it over and goes, "You're good, sir." And beautiful car, by the way. After they leave, Karen stomps up to my porch and hisses, "This isn't over, Michael. I run this neighborhood." Her voice shook, but her eyes, man, pure fire. That night, she blasts me all over the neighborhood. Social group calls me a show-off. Says people like me make Maple Grove a target for crime. The comments blow up. Some people side with her, most just roll their eyes. I just keep collecting receipts. But then things got weird. One night, I catch her teenage son, Brady, and a couple of his buddies out of my driveway, shining their phones at my car, live streaming for all their friends. Hey, we're at the rich guy's house, gonna expose this fraud. I come outside, calm as can be, and ask what they're doing. Brady puffs out his chest, tells me, "My mom's the HOA president, she can inspect whatever she wants." I tell them to leave, and as they start mouthing off about dirty money, I call the cops. The boys scatter when they see the lights, but not before Brady yells, "This isn't over, old man." Little did they know, my new security system caught the whole thing from 3 angles. That's when Karen decided to go nuclear. The next week, I get a certified letter her cousin's law firm, of course. Claims my ostentatious vehicle has damaged the community's reputation, demands $10,000, and threatens to sue. Same day, my insurance company calls someone reported my car as possibly stolen. Guess who? I laughed, but at this point I realized it was personal. Saturday morning, Karen and Brady march on my driveway. She's waving some legal document. Brady's live again, streaming for the world. By the authority vested in me as HOA president, I demand you surrender your vehicle for community auction, she bellows. Neighbors are standing around, watching, waiting to see if I'll break. And that's when I decided enough was enough. Time for offense. I call my old Army buddy, Sarah Martinez. She's a lawyer now, real estate, civil rights, knows her stuff. She grins as soon as she sees my evidence. Michael, you're sitting on a gold mine. This woman's broken at least 7 state laws. We subpoena the HOA records, and, oh boy, turns out Karen's been running illegal meetings, embezzling $15,000 for her own credit cards. But the real twist? My own digging uncovers that my grandfather actually bought all of Maple Grove years ago. My father inherited it, and now I'm the legal landlord. Riverside Management? They just work for me. Karen's authority? Built on thin air. As if on cue, Tom Peterson, Karen's ex, shows up at my door. He's tired of her ruining people's lives, brings receipts, old texts, proof she's been bullying anyone who crosses her. Even Brady's got skeletons, 2 sealed juvie convictions for property damage, now possible cyberbullying charges thanks to his live streams. The plan is set. The November HOA meeting rolls around, everyone shows up, room packed, Karen and Brady right up front. She launches into her usual speech, but I cut her off, lay out my military background, and then drop the deed to the entire neighborhood on the table. You should have seen her face: shock, disbelief, fury, all at once. Sarah lays out the evidence: embezzlement, harassment, you name it. Neighbors start sharing their own stories: fines for speaking Spanish in their yard, threats for flying the wrong flag, constant surveillance. Tom stands up and says, "This is who Karen's always be, noosing rules to control, never to help." Finally, I turn to Brady, point out the live stream slander, the cyberbullying. He bolts for the door, but the police I'd asked to attend are waiting. Karen gets cuffed for embezzlement and harassment. Brady's looking at juvie for cyberbullying. The room's dead silent as their reign ends not with a bang, but a whimper. Afterward, I stand up and say, we need a new HOA. One that serves us, not someone's ego. The room erupts, people actually cheering. 3 months later, Karen's on probation, owes every cent back, banned from any HOA work for a decade. She tries to stick around, but can't take the stairs, ends up selling her house at a loss. Brady she starts doing community service at the animal shelter, comes over one day, apologizes, even joins my woodworking class in the garage. Turns out, he's got a knack for it. We elect a new board, Mrs. Hernandez, who Karen used to bully, becomes president, Tom's treasurer. Everything's transparent, rules need a 75% vote now. Finances are public, discrimination's banned, privacy protected. My Lambo? Now it's basically the neighborhood mascot. Kids come wash it every Saturday. I tell war stories, parents bring coffee. Maple Grove finally feels like home. The garage is a workshop, the garden's a little library, neighbors stop by just to chat. The local paper calls us a model for reform after HOA abuse. I get invited to talk about real leadership: serving, not controlling. And my favorite line from that day? The minute you use power to control instead of serve, you lose the right to lead. That's what we live by now in Maple Grove. Sitting here with laughter echoing down my driveway, I realized this was never about the car. It was about stopping bullies, about proving that when good people stand together, they can turn the tide. That yellow Lambo isn't a trophy. It's a reminder: no matter how big or small the fight, knowledge, courage, and community will always win out over fear and bluster. We look out for each other now, respect each other, and we'll never let anyone rule by intimidation again. So what do you think? Did we go too far, or was it exactly what was needed? Where's the line between keeping order and going too far with control? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment. Tell me your story. That's how we make sure justice really sticks.